Привет из Дубая. С вами передача «Голубь мира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about DAO and let's start with the definition.
When I was working in Japan, I learned this term. By the way, this is Chinese, and literally it's mean pathway or something which is your goal in your life. And when I was asking my colleagues, they were saying so many speeches about this, and I realized that maybe this is very deep and very insightful things. Usually, DAO, this is about what you are going to do, what is your aim, what is the reason of your being. And it's very funny because you have no time to think about it. Usually you wakes up and you are going to the work, then you are going to have a lunch, then you're going to have another part of work, then you have maybe sport, maybe hobby, maybe romantic relations, then you're going to sleep, and each day goes day by day, and all they are same. And when you will rise up your head and you look around, you will find that something already changed. Some trees are growing, some grass are greening, some pigeons get small потомки,
Um, Ancestors.
ancestors. Maybe you will see a new harvest which are going from the fields, and you will wonder who are doing this, why everything is going so smoothly. I am not taking part in it. And in this case, you should understand that DAO could exist even if you are denying it, when you are not in the way, when you are not thinking about your purpose. DAO, this is absolute. This is about everything and about nothing. This from one time is empty, invisible, but also immortal. This is the beginning of all things.
And in order to grasp it, probably we will need to look into different like a philosophical matters or maybe even some religious matters because they also might be combined. But maybe we'll start with a goal setting because I do believe it might be something that someone could think they want to do in life, but there is like something else that life brought to them. So how those two things actually might be connecting? And I'm actually asking this question because currently there is a goal setting skill going on in schools of troubleshooters. So I'm just like trying to understand what might be the connection to any other skill and how it might be like used or at least like exist.
If you look to the fish, it's this creature always know where to go, where to find food, where to find hide away. When you will look, for example, to the wolf, it would be the same. Wolf wouldn't become so angry or so happy. It just lives by his life. When you will see, for example, oak, you will find that several centuries it grows and became bigger, and suddenly it became nothing. But he also gives a lot of, how to say this, желудь?
Acron.
Akrom?
Acron.
So you have a lot of acroms, and there are new oaks around you. The same would be with you. If you are just swimming in the river of the time, you will find yourself already married, already having childs and then grandchilds, and then you will go to the grave. And at some point of your life, maybe you will be stopped by disease, maybe by some мучения,
Tortures.
tortures or hesitations, and you will think about some peoples. Some of them will go faster, some of them will become richer, some will lose faith or lose health, and you will understand that if you will not find the way you go, you just will spoil your time being. There is no draft life, we have just one, and it's just about us. If you have goal, then we could achieve it. For example, sometime you want to be Olympic champion and you will train yourself for several years, and then you will stand on the как называется штука, на которой стоят они, постамент?
Podium.
Podium with golden or silver or bronze medal, and you will hear your main song of your country, hymn, yes?
Of him.
of him, and you will be proud, and your parents will be proud, and people which knows you also they will be proud. Or you could just make something usual, and when you will be laying in a fresh made grave, nobody will say a good word about you. I always say to troubleshooters that it is time to find a goal. And even today we were saying the same things. You should think what you want to do tomorrow. For example, if you want to have vacation, you will say, okay, I want to fly to Changi, Singapore, or I want to stay to Schiphol, Amsterdam, and I will live in such a hotel, and I will have a transfer. But the same with life. If you are not thinking about DAO today will be taken out. You know, this is like somebody who has ultimate power, someone omnipotent just cut the day of your life. And you know, there is a Russian saying that time spent on the fishing is not counted in your life. But a lot of people who has no DAO, they also will spoil their days. There is a great exercise which I like a lot. You could print Excel sheet with 50 cells in the row, and for example 75 columns. This represent all your life, and each Friday you should just cross out one cell, and sometime you will find that already you're doing this like for 5 or 10 years, and nothing happened, nothing changed. You have the same salary, you have the same flat, you have the same style of living, but it also could be changed. For example, just several days ago I wrote an article that for last 10 years, but exactly to say this was like 10 years and 5 days, I have created 10,000 cross links in internet, and I collect 10 millions views of this. But if I will spoil my days, I will make much less.
And when it comes to DAO, probably it has something to do with the ambitions or like maybe even motivation to think about itself. But I do believe that there is also might be the scale, because for some people their DAO might be just like, you know, like make perfect sushi, or for someone their DAO will be like to build perfect cities. So how to define like what exactly is for you, or whether DAO is totally agnostic to the scale or ambition, but it's more about like whether you're following what you truly desiring and whether you be able to accomplish it, even not during your life, but even after it.
When I was in Japan, you know, it was so funny. I was always in the hurry. I was trying to make as many as I could. And some of my colleagues were saying, come on, let's sit and let's view how this sakura leaves are falling down. I don't know how to say, lipistki, not leaves.
Leaves, we could say leaves as well.
Okay, let's say about leaves. And you know, we should do a lot of on our work. We have some urgent projects, but those people were just sitting and looking through this sakura tree, and it was like time freezing effect. And I was so afraid that we would be not in time, but suddenly they will stand up and we will go to the office and we will continue our work, and everything was going smoothly and perfectly. And maybe this is the reason why DAO is so important. DAO doesn't mean that you should run all the way. There is a good Japanese saying, if you want to make it fast, make it slow, but without any stopping.
Well, then my last question will be how knowing about DAO would help to make this world a better place.
If you will look around, you will find that some people which were with you in same group in institute or in first or second company, some of them would become, for example, CEO. Some of them will become shareholders. Some of them would join army of venture capitalists, and they will have good flats or good houses, fancy yachts and cars, and you will stand and you will have something very usual, and maybe you will be also jealous about them. But this means nothing, because some of those people could be dying because of lightning, because of corruption, because of killing, and so on. So no one knows which way is better, but the only way is DAO.
А мы рассмотрели навык DAO и чем он полезен именно вам. Всем мира!